Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. I'm going out to take care of a few things. In particular, I've got to get some hoses rolled up and put away. I've got to get some hoses rolled up and put away because we've been dancing around freezing temperatures. We're getting some slush in the hoses. Probably another week before it's going to really freeze up hard and be a problem, but I'm going to get it done today anyway. The temperature's nice. The sun is nice. I'm just going to get this done so it's out of the way. And then I have a whole stack of other things to do. Well, first of all, I'm going to have to do some work on the range in the kitchen because the oven's not working properly. I've been dealing with range issues now for more than a year, but I finally got the manufacturer to send me the service manual. Now I might have a chance of getting it fixed because nobody will come out here to fix it. Nobody. Closest I can do is put it in the truck and take it 60 miles and drop it off, and they'll get to it when they get to it. So we'll go ahead and get going with the things I can do right now. Oh, by the way, I still have the Range Rover to fix. Another story there, and I'll tell you about that later. And I just got the parts in for the battery that's in the utility building, so I can fix that lithium battery and get it back online. Lots of stuff to do. Well, I have this outside hose bib. That's PVC. That's what I hooked the hoses to. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn that off. And now I'm going to get wet. I think I'm going to get wet because there's probably water pressure in this hose. Feels like it anyway. Sure enough, there's water pressure in that hose, and that's what happens with using garden hoses, because you have a hose that flexes, so it can put some significant pressure back in the line. Now that looks like it's about done with the high pressure. Let's see. Still making a mess. And that water is warm. It's not hot now. This summer it was really hot. You could scald yourself. And as you can see, there's not ice stopping the water from coming out, which is great. Now it's time to go up to the greenhouse and disconnect several places, including back to the swamp cooler. Now I have a Y splitter with shutoffs. This one goes to the greenhouse. This one goes to the swamp cooler. Now I'll go ahead and remove the Y adapter. I just opened those up so that more water can drain out. Now I'll go ahead and disconnect up here at the greenhouse and then at the swamp cooler. I need to drain the inside pipes out so that the irrigation system is completely winterized.
Hello, Irene.
Hello.
I'm just
in to grab a wrench.
I heard that you were playing with the water because I could hear the water drain down.
I'm glad you could hear it drain. It actually drained out pretty good.
Good.
I'm just looking to see where I left that wrench.
What wrench are you looking for?
There's the large adjustable.
Last time I saw it was right by the door.
Oh, thank you. See you later.
Yep. If you decide to go for a pipe wrench instead, I found one this morning when I was cleaning up in the bedroom over by the pellet stove, so it is now in the drawer in the pantry. The tool drawer.
Rufus thinks the bag of soil is interesting.
Yes, well, obviously it'd been in the sun too long, and the tarp that had been on there to keep it from croaking is no longer on there, and when I picked it up, it croaked. So I was like, okay, well, I just need to deal.
Okay. Rufus, go see Mom.
Come on, Rufus, stay with Mama.
Go with Mommy.
I want to check and see if nothing exciting is happening, because I wouldn't want to miss anything exciting.
It's always exciting.
I know.
I have the other end of this hose that goes to the swamp cooler disconnected. Now I need to do is roll this up and put it away. Now I have the hoses hanging on the ends of the temporary solar panel install so that it can heat up, and I'll be able to blow some more water out of them. Got most of it out. I don't care if there's a little bit. I don't want a whole lot to be in there because I don't want the water to freeze and expand and break the hoses. I've had that happen before, but fortunately these are a much better hose with reinforcing. Hopefully they won't break. Well, I'm pretty sure they won't because I think I'll get all the water out. Well, there's a little more left to finish winterizing the line that goes out to the greenhouse. We're still using the irrigation in the yard to supply water to our beds. We want to keep water going to them until it freezes up so that the plants will survive. That means that I have live water going to that outside bib, and that's a problem. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to isolate that and blow that line out. Irene's busy getting some things done in the greenhouse. She'll be in a little while for lunch, and we'll figure out what we're going to eat. The greenhouse is winterized, at least for irrigation. I have one more task to do, and that is move that pump back into the utility building. I'm going to drain the water out, and then I'll be connecting the extension cord to our heat tapes. Won't take long, but it's important.
Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres, and I am out in the greenhouse, and my goal today is to solve a bunch of problems that I have. One of those problems is that I'm behind on my planting, so I need to clear out some of these buckets and plant some brassicas, something in the cole family, the cabbage family. Another problem I have is the rodents are back. I seem to have controlled them briefly, but now they're back and they're chewing the bejesus out of my pak choi. So, yeah, I got a few things going on at once. So we're going to see what I can get done. It's critical that I get some of these things done. The irrigation system is shut off for the winter, so I can pull all the irrigation lines and just plain get those out of the way. And just going to get started. Rufus is under the table now. He was very excited about life, the universe, and everything earlier. I noticed that I also have aphids on my pak choi, so I'll be spraying for that too. So just have a lot going on. So let's get started. Now the first thing I'm going to do is pull out these irrigation lines. They're not being used anymore because the irrigation has been shut down for the winter. They would freeze and break if I left them connected. And I'm just going to stack these into a box, get them stuck over to the side, and anything that's growing this winter will be hand watered. But I know this has to be taken apart anyway at the beginning of the season, so taking it apart now is a good start. That way I'm not dealing with these things, which can be very much in the way when you're trying to do something else. I also don't have to worry about water sitting them over the winter. These would not break because they will just expand to deal with any expansion from the water, but the PVC pipes can break, so. Fruits on here, yeah, there is. Just a couple. Snip, snip, snip. I need a snip, snip, snip. Ah, can use the little one. Okay, so that Shelby still has fruit on it. Shelby is a tomato, a paste tomato. I have 2 Shelby plants down here that still have fruit on them. And I'm going to experiment to see if they will actually, like all I need them to do is ripen a little bit, and then I can take them in. But they need to ripen a little bit, otherwise they're never going to ripen correctly. So, and this one here has fruit on it, which sounds absurd, but, you know. This Shelby plant actually has quite a few, I think this is a Shelby too. Yeah, this Shelby plant here actually has quite a few fruits on it. So I'm going to try and control its sloppage. It also has some aphids. So we'll see what we can do there. Just generally try and clean up. All right, these are the dwarfs, and I think they have quite a bit of cruddy stuff on them in terms of sections of the plants that have sort of done. So I'm going to cut all that off. This is all going to require a good solid spray because it has an assortment of crud. So I'll need to decide what I'm going to spray with. But I'm going to trim off all the dead stuff anyway. Things like the small dead branches that have expired blooms on them. Things like that. I'm just going to take that off because it's just a reserve spot, a reservoir, if you will, for yucky stuff. That's a technical term, yucky stuff. You're going to hear the fans coming on and off. I have the fans on the north end of the greenhouse turned on. I have the bottom vent on the south end open, so it's pulling in cooler air. I'm trying not to turn on the fan on the south end because it'll make the noise in here just extremely loud. So even with a remote mic, it won't give you the greatest ability to hear. So I'm picking through pretty carefully here. I'm taking off anything that looks really cruddy. There's actually quite a few fruits on this dwarf tomato here. I'm also picking out some husk cherry fruit because I don't want it to grow again. This is a red robin here. I'm just trying to make this as clean as I can so that I'm not wasting my efforts trying to get in to spray something that has dead things on them or anything like that. I don't know if this is going to produce any more fruit other than what's already on it. It has several unripened fruits on it right now. I'm not seeing any blossoms. This Shelby and that Shelby both have blossoms. So there's the chance, although I think it's slim, but it's kind of an experiment. Okay. Now, this is kohlrabi. I doubt that this kohlrabi is going to be edible, but I'm going to get it out of the way anyway. This kohlrabi should have been harvested probably July. And when you let it go, see how crazy it gets? It becomes even more of a alien creature. But I'm going to take it back to the house and we'll cut it up and we'll see if it's too pithy or if maybe these sections here might be edible. We'll see. We won't know till we try.